back to the Geodesic Dome Treehouse project. Today is part 3A, I would call it, because I want to talk a little bit about the actual dome, how I went about it. A few folks reached out to me asking me a lot about the actual dome and how I got to those connectors, so I want to give you the whole breakdown of the story. So in essence now we built the octagon treehouse platform, and the diameter is approximately 16 feet for the octagon. So now I'm looking for a treehouse structure that fits on top of that, and I really like the concept of the geodesic dome. So ironically, first I thought the geodesic dome structure is actually like a natural phenomenon. I thought somehow that this was one of the nature's strongest structures, but then I did a little research and I found that there's this guy, Buckminster Fuller, who kind of showed that thing in 1954 at the Biennale as one of, a future structure for people to live in. So it was actually a man-made or a man-invented structure, which surprised me. Anyway, I'm very fascinated with the structure because it's super strong. So that's how I ended up with the concept of a geodesic dome. Now, next thing is choosing the right materials. So I really liked to build the dome out of lumber, ideally something that's readily available at your local hardware store. So I really leveled in on a 2x4 in essence for use. And then researching, I found the site domorama.com. I'll put a link in the description to have a really a rich set of resources. They have like calculators for your dome, the dome type, and they also have like material build stuff, so super good. I'm not affiliated with them, but I just use them extensively myself. Okay, so looking at connector options. So there's a whole bunch of stuff out there, but most of them are not designed for like a 2x4 type, unless you decide to use the 2x4s themselves as connectors. But that's just too complex for me with all the custom cuts you have to do. It's quite, there's a lot of cuts. So then, I found there's one connector type that was made out of plastic, I think, and recommendation was to use like drywall screws on the outside, so you don't have a flush side. It's like basically mounted from the outside with drywall screws. So I didn't think this was a good idea. And then there was this other guy, company who they do metal connectors. So I reached out to those guys, and they A, discontinued the sale of the connectors, and B, one connector was like $75. And remember, I need 61 of them for a V3 dome, so that was cost prohibitive. Anyways, that's how I decided to build my own dome. Anyways, let's get back to the thing. So I needed something that has on the bottom a base of 16 feet-ish, because that's the size of my treehouse. So I decided to go with a V3 5/8 dome. So V, in essence, is the frequency of the dome. And the higher the V, the more triangles you have. So you can have a V1, it's like super edgy. A V2 is still kind of edgy, and V3 was round, and then you can go V4, 5, or 6, and then it gets exponential, the amount of triangles and connectors you need. So I decided to go with a V3. I needed 61 connectors, and then I went on a mission to basically design my own connector. So I thought, well, I'm okay doing one cut on each side of the 2x4s. Maybe I can use I think it's called barrel bolts type, or nut bolts. A concept, you may know them from IKEA. To use those guys to connect the 2x4 to a connector. And for a connector, I thought maybe I just use like a metal pipe, because the metal pipe you can just drill certain holes at certain angles, and then go from there. So I built a proof of concept, went to Home Depot, got a 3-inch pipe, ABS, I think it is, drilled my holes, got some connectors, got some nuts and screws, and tried it out, and it worked. And then I basically went to a friend of mine who is doing metalworks, and I have him cut my custom connectors, and that's how I ended up with the design. So that's part 3A. In part 3B I'll show you how I built the part, the dome. Thanks for listening in, and have fun, and please subscribe to my channel. That would be great, and see you next time.